Morning, Ed. I want to thank you for coming to see me today. I know that you've received a packet of information already from our office, kind of explaining to you our confidentiality policy, also some details about what counseling is all about, kind of how we do things here at the office, and what you can expect from me in our relationship. So I'd like for us to I know, like I said, I know you've already kind of looked over some of that material, but I'd like to also go over a few things that I think are very important so that you understand what you can expect from me and what you can expect from the client-counselor relationship. So first of all is confidentiality. I really take the meetings, the time that we spend here together, I take that time very seriously. We will have an hour, a solid hour, and if we do go over by a few minutes, it'll just really depend on what we're talking about. But I like to try to keep all of our sessions to 1 hour. As far as the confidentiality piece, I really want to keep a good, healthy relationship going, and I want you to feel comfortable sharing with me any information, even sensitive information or difficult things that you ordinarily wouldn't talk about. I want you to feel comfortable here with me, but I do have to, let you know that I have certain obligations here in the office. One of them is I'm a mandatory reporter of physical and sexual abuse of children. Elder abuse in the state of Florida is a serious issue. Threats of suicide or homicide that are of immediate concern. There'll be some times when there'll be other information that I have to disclose, based on Florida law. Also, because we're accepting your insurance, I will be having to submit diagnosis information and your dates of service. So those are kind of the basic things that I'm going to have to be disclosing. Like I said, I may have to talk to my supervisor about your case, pretty standard, or there may be other times when you'll need to sign a release, and that'll be up to you if there are other situations that come up. And then, like I said before, HIPAA compliant, our office is HIPAA compliant. If you have questions, like I said, I've already mailed you a copy of this. If you read it over and there's something you're concerned about regarding HIPAA, the office manager would probably be the best person to kind of discuss that with you in more detail. I want to kind of talk about our relationship also. I want to set some expectations with you. Emergencies do come up, and even though our office is only open from 9 to 5, we do have an answering service. So if there is an urgent situation, obviously, if it's life or death, you need to call 911, seek immediate emergency care at the ER. Otherwise, if there is a crisis and you do want to talk to me before the hours of 9 and after 5, you can get in contact with our answering service. At that point, the answering service will contact me, and I can then get in contact with you. So you would just leave your whatever phone number, cell phone number, whatever, you can leave that with the answering service. Okay. Are you understanding this so far? The financial issues, again, that's pretty standard. We accept a copay up front, and then we will bill your insurance company. Any other information, any other situations that come up, we'll kind of deal with them as we go along, but everything is, again, contained in the paperwork that you've already looked at. Coordination of treatment, that's not really relevant for us. I've read your background information you've shared. There doesn't appear to be any current psychiatric treatment that you've sought or really ongoing medical treatment other than a yearly physical. So there's really not going to be any coordination of care at this time. But if you do decide, or we decide together that you might need some, additional treatment, medical treatment, we can kind of broach that subject, and I'll be happy to coordinate care with whoever you go to see, if you go to see a medical doctor. We kind of already broached the subject of HIPAA. We don't want to be giving out your information to anyone that's not supposed to have it. We want to keep your health information, your social security number. We want to keep all of that stuff confidential and only release it when it's absolutely required by law. Okay, so that's really confidentiality, all the issues stemming from that kind of in a nutshell. We also kind of talked about some of, some circumstances that might affect our relationship. I don't know how you're feeling about that. I hope you're feeling pretty good. Okay. So let's just talk about our purpose. I read over your information, your intake information, and you said you were having some troubles at work. So that's really our purpose, to drill down, what your concerns are. I really want to spend some time, getting to know you, getting to know what's going on with you, what issues are you having, and that's the best way that we can move forward, I feel like, is if I thoroughly understand the circumstances that have brought you here. I do give out homework occasionally, so most of the session you'll be talking. I'll occasionally, offer an anecdote if I think it's actually going to be beneficial and helpful to you, or offer some strategies for you that you can, utilize. But most of the time you're going to be sharing, and occasionally I'll be offering, so it's the reverse of today. Occasionally I'll be offering, feedback, anecdotes, if they're relevant, if they're going to actually, if I feel like they're going to benefit you. So that's really it. The purpose of our session is really to help, resolve any issues that you're having. And we do that by first kind of getting to know one another, me getting to know you. I really do feel like you're the expert on your life. You know what you've gone through, and that's how I'm going to get the most information, is by listening to you kind of tell me what's going on in your world. Once I feel like I've gotten a good grasp on that, then we can kind of go and set some goals. Set some concrete goals for you. And then finally, let's look for alternatives. Let's talk about, how things are going based on a couple of weeks of us talking. And I'll offer, some homework. The idea behind the homework is that it's not just me giving you homework. I really want us to work together. I want you to come up with some ideas, what you think is going to be things that you can take away from our session. Because we're only going to be able to be together for 1 hour. So I would really like you to take some of the techniques that we talk about, take them home, and really work on them and implement them. That's how you're going to see the most benefit, I feel, from our session, is if you take some action based on, the goals that we set. And then the final step, let's come back maybe after 4 weeks and see how you're feeling, how you're feeling about the sessions. So I hope this, this has been beneficial for you. I really want to demystify the counseling process so you understand, not just why you're here, but how these sessions will be beneficial to you.